students, welcome to my channel Easy Learning. Today we will be continuing the introduction part of comparing quantities. Before that, I hope you all must have watched part 1 of this video. So as promised, in this video I will be explaining you the concept of simple interest and compound interest. Okay, so these two topics are very important from the competition point of view also and from the grade 8 point of view also. So first thing, let's understand what do you mean by the interest. Okay, let's not go in simple interest or in compound interest. First, let's understand what is interest. So interest is something, suppose from the bank you have borrowed a rupees, 1000 rupees, right? Over a period of time, say for 2 years you have borrowed it and at a rate of 10%. Now, why the bank is interested to give you this amount? Why the bank will give you any amount that rupees 1000 is very small, I have taken as example. So if the bank will start giving the money to everybody to fulfill their desirements, then what is bank is getting out of it? It means when any person who is borrowing this amount and is returning it after 2000 rupees will not return 10,000 rupees. There will be certain additional amount. That amount is the interest. Okay. So how do we calculate this interest? There are two ways of doing this, simple interest and compound interest. Okay. Just to quickly tell you, compound interest is always expensive as compared to the simple interest. Okay. I will be explaining you how with one example. So I am taking one example here. Suppose to calculate the simple interest, what is the formula we have done in grade 7 as well? Principal into rate into time upon 100. This is how we calculate the simple interest. Where we know what is principal? The money borrowed, right? Principal is what? The money borrowed. Okay, this is your principal. Or the now R is what? R is the rate per annum, and T we know is the time period for which the money has been taken from the bank, right? So this is how with simple interest we calculate, and then how much amount you have to return to the bank. That amount can be calculated as principal plus simple interest. What is principal? The money which you have actually taken from the bank, that is your principal, and in that principal if we add the simple interest, that will give us the amount which we have returned to the bank. Okay, let's see this with one example. Suppose principal amount, it means the amount which has been taken from the bank is rupees 1000. Rate is 2% for a period of 2 years, and we have to calculate the amount. Amount means the money which you have to return to the bank. Now the formula for amount is what? Principal plus simple interest. Principal is already given, it means first thing is what? We have to calculate the simple interest. Simple interest is P into R into T upon 100. So how much is principal? 1000. How much is rate? 2. Period is 2 upon 100. I can cancel these two zeros. 2 2s are 4. 4 into 10 means rupees 40. So simple interest has come how much? Simple interest has come 40 rupees. It means the customer who has taken 1000 rupees from the bank will now return how much? Amount is equals to principal means 1000 plus simple interest which is 40, which gives you 1040 rupees. So you see, this is the reason why we get the loan from the bank. Whatever you have taken, you return more than that, right? So 1000 is a very small amount which we don't take from the bank. This is just to explain you with an example. Now the main topic in this chapter is compound interest and what is the difference between simple interest and compound interest. So I will be explaining you. So this is the amount to be returned now. Returned to bank. So these two formulas are important here whenever you need to calculate the simple interest. Now compound interest I will be explaining you. First I will explain you annually a general case, and then there are many cases which I will explain you one by one. So let's first do it in two ways. Suppose I am taking a very small number. I have taken suppose rupees 100 from the bank, okay, for 3 years at a rate of say 10%. Okay, so first we will see simple interest. If we calculate one by one, how much we are getting. If I calculate the simple interest say for first year, I'm not writing formulas. P into R is 10. T is first year because I'm calculating for first year upon 100, right? So it is coming out rupees 10. So it means amount is principal plus SI. Principal was 100 plus 10. It means rupees 110. So this is the amount if you calculate it only for first year. Now if I calculate SI for second year, P is again 100. Rate will be how much? 10. Now T becomes 2 upon 100. Cancel it. It comes out rupees 20. Therefore, amount will be principal plus SI, which means 100 plus 20, which gives you rupees 120. Right? Now, if I want to calculate SI for third year, it will be how much? 100 into 10 into 3 upon 100. Cancel it. 30. So amount will be how much? 100 plus 30, it means rupees 130. Right? So if you are calculating it one by one, for first year, for second year, for 3 year, the amount is coming out 130 rupees. Right? And if I calculate it directly with the direct formula, simple interest was P into R into T upon 100. This gives you 30 rupees and amount will be 100 plus 30 is also rupees 130. So in case of simple interest, it is very simple. If you calculate it one by 1 year, if you place it directly in the formula, you get the same answer, right? There is no difference. But in compound interest, the things are little complicated. What was happening here? Principal was not changing. We have used the same principal in every year. Rather, in compound interest, what happens? The amount of previous year becomes the principal for next year. I repeat, the amount which you will be calculating in 1 year becomes the principal of second year. So here you see the principal which was 100 rupees. In case of compound interest, for second year it is going to be 110 rupees. Okay. Now when you have calculated 120 rupees amount here, this will be your principal in the third year. So the principal instead of 100 in third year will be 120 rupees. So when I am saying the principal is increasing, if principal is increasing, what will happen? Interest will also increase, right? If you were paying 100 rupees per, you were paying rupees 10. Now for rupees 120, maybe you will pay rupees 12. And then for next year, rupees 14. So if you see as your principal is increasing, we say your interest is also increasing because the amount which you have calculated for the previous year becomes the principal for next year. That is why compound interest will be more expensive. I will explain you with the example here. So suppose I will take the same value so that you can compare. In your previous case, simple interest has come 130 rupees. Let's calculate with the same values in the form of compound interest. Okay. So compound interest, if I calculate for first year, 10% of 100. The principal was how much? Rupees 100 rupees. Time was 3 years and rate was 10%, right? So 10% of 100 means 10 upon 100 into 100, rupees 10, right? So rupees 10 means amount will be principal plus SI, 100 plus 10, it means rupees 110. Now what will happen? This amount which we have calculated here, for the second year, it is going to be the principal. So the principal when I am calculating for second year is rupees 110. So I will calculate 10% of 110, right? 10% of 110. This is cancelled, this is cancelled. So this is coming out rupees 11. If you are getting rupees 11, amount will be principal plus SI. It means 110 plus 11. How much it will be? Rupees 121. So this is after second year, right? Now Let's do for third year. Principal will be how much now? 121. Okay, the amount which we are getting becomes a principal for next when we do compounded. So now 10% of 121. 10 upon 100 into 121. This is cancelled. So you get rupees 1.21. Sorry, it is going to be 12.1. Right? It is going to be 12.1. And if you calculate the amount here, which will be principal plus SI means 121 plus 12.1 will be rupees 133.1, right? So now your amount after 3 years has come 133.1, and if you see with the same values, with these values, when we calculated the simple interest, it has come 130 rupees, and when we are calculated it here, it has come 133. So there is rupees 3.1 which you are paying extra when you are calculating it in this way, compound way. So here one thing which you have to remember, that the principal, the amount which you have calculated in first year will be the principal for next year. Here you have calculated the amount as 121, this becomes the principal. It means for the next year you will charge on 110 rupees, right? Interest will be calculated on the previous principal. That is why it is expensive. So you can clearly see in simple interest it was coming out rupees 130, and with the same value when you have compounded it, it is coming out rupees 133.1. So compound interest is greater than simple interest here. It means compound interest is expensive as compared to simple interest, and all the banks, big companies, they charge compound interest. Okay. Now this was only for 3 years, so we did it step by step. But if it comes for 14 years, 15 years, we can't do it, and that too we have done it with smaller numbers. So we have reduced a formula for it. We have reduced a compound interest formula. How do we write that? Amount will be principal 1 plus r upon 100 raised to the power n. Okay. So in symbolic form, you can write it as amount principal 1 plus r upon 100 raised to the power n. And we know here P is the principal amount, R is the rate, and N is the time period. Okay. Now this is the amount which you will be returning to the bank. And how much is the compound interest? How you can calculate the compound interest? Will be amount minus principal. So these are two important formulas which we are going to use in this exercise, because we have rationalized one formula. Instead of doing it for one year, we will directly calculate using here, and this is the amount formula, which is another important formula to solve the questions in this exercise. Okay. Now there are certain cases which is very important for you to understand. Let's understand those cases. So the first case, if I say what will be the time period, which is your n, and rate r. Case 1, what will be your case 1? When interest is calculated annually. Okay. So first case, annually means after every 1 year you are paying the interest. So the formula remains same in this case. We have just done amount is equals to principal 1 plus r upon 100 raised to the power n. And compound interest will be how much? Amount minus principal, right? If I place the value of amount here, what it will be? 1 plus r upon 100 raised to the power n, and this minus p as it is, right? And we can take p as common. In many books you will get the formula like this. So there is nothing to worry, it's just they have taken principal as common and solved it like this to calculate the compound interest. So we can do it directly also in any question if you have to calculate the compound interest. The important thing here is to note it down when you are calculating the compound interest annually. Now if you see, there is a case 2. What will be your rate and your time period when interest is calculated half yearly. Half yearly means after every 6 months. Okay, so when you are calculating it after every 6 months, your rate which was R will also be half. What is half of R? R upon 2%. And then we will see in 1 year how many half years are there. 6 months plus 6 months, it means 2 half years, right? So n becomes 2n. Instead of n as 1 year, because n was 1 year, but since you are calculating it half yearly, so it means you are paying it twice, so your n becomes 2. So this is very important to understand, and accordingly your formulas get changed. How? Amount will be principal 1 plus r upon 2 into 100, because r by 2 the rate has changed, and 2n, which can be amount is equals to principal 1 plus r upon 200 raised to the power 2n, right? Similarly, again, compound interest will be amount minus principal. Let's place the values. P into 1 plus r upon 200 raised to the power 2n minus p. If I take p as common again, so this becomes 1 plus r upon 200 raised to the power 2n minus 1. So this is very important. Please do underline whenever you see you have to compound it, the interest you have to calculate in this way. Underline whether it is annually. If it is annually, then there is no change. The rate remains same, the time period remains same, right? But when it is half yearly, then what happens? The rate will also become half, and you will see how many half years are there in 1 year. 2. So your n becomes 2n. It means this will be 2. Okay, 2n means it is going to be 2 in the power only. Now there is another case 3. What will be the rate? What will be the time period when interest is calculated quarterly? Now quarterly, we see there are 3 months, 4 quarters, right? It means after what we are doing, there are 4 conversion period after 3 months. So what we can write, there are how many conversion? 4 conversion periods. After every 3 months, and 3 4s are 12, and there are 12 months in a year. So there are 4 conversion period after every 3 months. So when the rate which was R now becomes 1/4, R by 4%, and n which was your this becomes 4n, because you are paying it. There are 4 conversion periods now. So if you write the formula, now this becomes amount will be principal 1 plus r upon 4 into 100 means 400 4n, right? And then compound interest will be amount minus principal. If you write 1 plus r upon 400 raised to the power 4n minus p, take p as common. What will be here? 1 upon r upon 400 raised to the power 4n minus 1. So these all formulas remain same. There is hardly any difference. The only important thing that whenever it is half yearly, quarterly, you have to change the rate and time period. That is very important. Now there is a last case which I am going to explain you. Case 4. Case 4 is little different when rates are different for different years. When rates are different for different years. So abhi tak what we have done, it's a 10% for 3 years, 10% for 5 years, but I am saying for 3 years, but every year the rate is different for different years. So suppose there are 3 years, okay, but in first year the rate was R1%, in second year let the rate be something else, and in this I am taking as R3%. So we have just taken any variables. So what happens to the amount in that case? Your amount becomes, how will you write? Principal 1 plus first year R1 is the rate upon 100, right? Then 1 plus R2 upon 100, this is giving you for second year, and then third. So we have to write it individually. This is how we write it. We don't need to place anything in the power here, because we have written it for first year, second year and third year according to the rate R1, R2. Suppose this is your 2% and here you have 3% and here you have 4%. So what we will write, 1 plus 2 upon 100. Here you will write 3 upon 100 and 4 upon 100 accordingly. So this is the case when you are calculating the interest, but the rate for each year is given different. Similarly, now compound interest will again be amount minus principal. Amount, if you see in this case, will be principal if I take common. 1 plus R1 upon 100. Similarly, 1 plus R2 upon 100. 1 plus R3 upon 100. This principal I have already taken common. So this becomes minus 1. So this was the very important concept of this chapter, where you have to make sure that are you calculating the interest half yearly, quarterly, or the rates are different in the various years. So please do watch this video very carefully. This video will be very helpful for you all to solve the questions of this chapter. This was the complete concept of simple interest and compound interest. There are various applications where we use compound interest as to calculate the increase in population or growth in bacteria in the labs and many other. Okay, so in my next video I will be explaining you exercise 8.1. Till then, please watch both the introductory videos of this chapter. Bye bye, take care everyone.